very, very foggy morning in Hemel Hempstead. It is Tuesday, that means it's session 2 of my program, which means it's going to be way more arm and shoulder focused. Chest and a little bit of back primarily was yesterday. So the idea of a more chill session being today is that I pushed it yesterday. I've given myself a big muscle growth stimulus, particularly in the chest, which is the primary focus of this cycle. So now this session is going to be way more chill in order to give my body the best possible opportunity to recover and grow a bigger chest. That's the idea anyway. See how it goes.
Alright, so as I said, this session is pretty chill. Got myself some Versa grips, so I was pretty excited to try those out. They're like a really grippy material that attaches on a piece of, I don't know, leather that's like strapped around your wrist, but it allows you to like lock into the dumbbells or the machine that you're using. So it's fun to use these. Definitely feel like it helped me get an extra few reps because I wasn't limited by grip strength, which is really cool. I love these super range of motion lateral raises. So good coming all the way up like that, because although the delt isn't used loads coming all the way up, on the way back down you get so much extra range of motion. You just got way more time under tension. People don't like to do them because you have to use lighter weight, but if you don't care about how much weight you lift, then you can be way more efficient in the gym, which is cool. I did 4 sets of between 8 to 12 reps with those, and then I supersetted that, which means I did 1 set of my lateral raises, then 1 set of the next exercise, and I go back and forth each time. And the overhead tricep extensions I did 4 sets of as well, and that was for between 10 and 20 reps. And the idea is that whilst my shoulders are resting, instead of waiting for my shoulders to feel fresh again, I can go over to the other exercise and just get started with that. It's going to save you so much time in the gym. You can still rest for a little bit if you want. I take about 30 seconds just to get my breath back, but it doesn't take that long to get my breath back after doing lateral raises, so I can get straight on with the next exercise. Saves you so much time. You can fit in so many more sets. It's just a much more efficient way to train, and I would definitely recommend it. As you can see with my overhead tricep extensions, I really keep my elbows narrow. That's because the wider I go, the less stretch, the less tension there is on the long head of my triceps, which is the biggest sort of the underhang part of your triceps. The more narrow you go, the more tension you're going to put in that part of the muscle. But here's a little interesting thing. You'll see that I'm always talking about a full range of motion, and then at the top you'll notice that I don't come all the way out. I sort of maybe come up and just sort of leave a soft bend in the elbows. That is because if I go all the way up, I have to, because my shoulders are tight, I have to let my elbows turn out wide to the side. And the more I do that, the harder it is to keep the elbows in on the way back down. And seeing as the way back down is the bit where the muscle is most stretched, it's the most important bit, I like to favour that instead. And I don't come all the way out because I don't want to end up popping my elbows out and then struggling to bring them back in. So I favour the long length part of that exercise. Next up is free motion curls. 5 sets. That's not 5, that's 4. 5 sets of between 8 to 12 reps, supersetted with cable pushdowns. So a little bit more tricep volume than bicep in this program, partly because I feel like my triceps recover a little bit better. They probably need a little bit more work in them to get the same sort of muscle growth stimulus, but also because the muscle itself, the triceps, are like 70% of your arm. So you're better off putting more work. If you want to grow bigger arms, you're better off putting more work into triceps than you are biceps, just because they're just bigger. So if you want to grow, if you're going to prioritize any part of growing, it's going to be the bigger part if you want to make the most dramatic difference in the shortest amount of time. That doesn't mean we don't work biceps though. Come on, like, if you're going to be a bro, you've got to work biceps. And then I finish with just 2 sets of dumbbell wrist curls, anywhere between 10 to 15 reps for those. They are so potent in terms of making me sore. I just don't need that much volume. I do them quite early on in the week to save, you know, I want a little bit of freshness in my grip for the rest of the pulling stuff that I'm going to do later on in the week. But that is literally it. A nice, short, simple session.
Session 2 done. Tuesday, arms and shoulders. So that session took me an hour, which is relatively short for me, but what I will say is I won't go for more than an hour and a half. I think if you do that, you're probably heading into what I would describe as junk volume, where you've just got no energy to hit the workout. You're just hitting it. You're just doing it for doing its sake. Bodybuilding so much has become in the public eye, like, oh, push yourself, push. And it's all about pushing the limits. And really, if you want to get really good at it, you could make a strong argument that a really well-drilled bodybuilder is someone that takes just really great care of themselves. They're really in tune with when their body is being pushed too far, and they know how to back off and manage their fatigue. So they're great at pushing just up to that limit, and once they push up against it and almost past it, they'll know straight away, and they know immediately how to back off, how hard to back off, and when to push again. I think that in itself is a little bit of an art form, and it's something that you'll probably only get right by getting wrong. You have to get it wrong first. You don't know your limits until you hit them, and then you'll soon realise. But it's definitely something that's worth sort of getting to grips with.
So then later on in the week, I went to my grandma and granddad's house with my dad, and I had a fascinating discussion with my grandma about when she got evacuated for the Second World War. She told me something that I didn't know. She said that when they arrived where they were going to be evacuated to, they would be in like a school hall or the village hall or whatever, all these kids that gathered together, and then the foster parents of whoever was going to look after the kids would come to that school hall and just pick the kids that they wanted to have come and stay with them. We think it's harsh when you're on the school playground and getting picked for the football team. If you get picked last, you think that sucks. Oh my days. Imagine getting evacuated and getting picked last. That must have been terrifying. And I was like, God, I don't feel like that would happen anymore. I feel like culture has really moved on. So after seeing my grandparents, I went to see my friend Nathan, who is going to be my future brother-in-law. He's getting married to my wife's sister. So we've got a really, really close friendship. He loves a bit of football. I'm a Leeds fan.
Come on, Leeds!
Come on, Leeds!
As you can see, I got Amy to cheer for Leeds. Not 100% sure that she knew what she was cheering for, but she did it anyway, and I appreciate that. Then went and watched Leeds with Nath. Nath loves a little bit of Friday night football. In fact, he's a man who watches more football than anyone else I know in my life.
Lads night, Nath.
Yeah, baby, come on.
Gonna be in the vlog, mate. How does it feel to be a feature in the vlog?
Yeah, you know, it's been something I've been working for a while. You know, I've seen the first one, and once you've watched the first one, you just can't wait to get into the second one. So yeah, you know, to support a friend, you know, it means a lot. So yeah, I just hope I'm ready. I hope I can make my manager proud. So yeah, we'll see.
Too much Super Sunday this guy has consumed.
Yeah, you know. You'll never stop this fame. I will never let you go. I watch Super Sunday.
So I was very happy on the Friday night as Leeds got a 2-0 win. And we are now second in the league, which I'm buzzing about. Then on Saturday, we went for a beautiful walk with our friends Ben and Becky and their little boy Jesse. We went to grab a coffee and we went for a walk in the woods, and he was loving the horses.
Wow, Jesse, look at them. Whoa. Look at them go, Jesse. Bye.
I'd actually love to.
And then we finished up the weekend with a beautiful roast beef. Nothing says gains like an English roast dinner. We had a lovely roast with the family. Finished up there, ready for another wicked week of training. Thank you so much again for watching the video. Make sure you tune in next week for maybe a little bit more detail about my philosophy with coaching and maybe where it differs from some other coaches. And again, the third training session of the 5-session program. Definitely one of the biggest sessions. The first time we're going to do legs because it's Wednesday and my 2 football sessions would have finished, so it'll be the first proper leg session. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch the future sessions, and see you next week.